I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside to Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And, Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch out.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got the inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 42 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
A try here for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
We got to get the ball. Get the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And now the offense for Detroit.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check tight.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. And to give this time to the tailback. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Matt Patricia here on 4th down, sending out the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Ready, set. Watch 98. 98's Mike. It's going to be a long day. Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw, and that will be incomplete. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Nifty move. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They didn't want want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great. But you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Back to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
They'll look to throw here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 24.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Let's go. 90 Wolf. 54 miles. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. They're going to look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Give him 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe it's...
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off around the 27, and into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D.
They'll set up the throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 17-yard line. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are back within a single score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
They'll set up a throw, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and with it, they're back within a field goal. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
I'm ready. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Tight jaw. Ready?
Back to throw now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The outlaw. Here I come.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing right, and that's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Going to throw right side here, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 13-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Mike. Ricky.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
2nd and 4. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 5-yard touchdown. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, They use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Back to throw here. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
They can't hang with us.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Lions down on the scoreboard. Just over 1:40 to play. Now they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Tighten up.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check 26, check 26.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a first throw here in overtime. And he will find his man on the outside. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
On now is the Packers punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done. Now part 2.
53, check 53. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Check safety. Check safety.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he whips that one incomplete there. Way back here, deep in their own territory, they're well aware when they throw the ball, they've got to be careful.
Let's face it, every psychologist in the world will tell you, be positive with your team right here. Tell them they're going to make big plays. I know every coach we've ever met has told his offensive team, don't hold here, right? Don't get a penalty here, because anything like that in the end zone can end the game and lose it for us, especially if they...
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 50, 30, 10, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.